Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful, we will be. We have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties, because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda.
All right, good evening again, viewers. Darren Lovett. Yeah, 3 days to save Australia. Well, yeah. And as we roll into it, guys, it's I didn't know, but it's apparently Vaccine Awareness Week.
Immunisation.
Vaccine immunisation awareness. Well, we all know what that means, and I think that we should use that on the weekend and when we're out and about, guys. Push this what's going on, because we got Penny Wong. It's come out today. Now Albo's backpedaling, but the old CCP agent saying that the voice will be coming in. It's as simple as that, that they will get it in. Just do it up the line a little bit. Ryan Park. Okay, our health system is just an absolute mess, guys. So someone was at the hospital today. They rang for an ambulance for someone, disability client, by the way. Rang for an ambulance, got told that you couldn't get an ambulance unless it was a life-threatening situation. Got up the hospital in a private car, went in, and just watching people go in and out for all the time that they were there, getting ECGs, guys, heart conditions. It's just unbelievable. And, this is what I say, Vaccine Awareness Week. Well, I know you're doing a great job, guys, but maybe we just need to push a little bit harder, eh? So, proposal for councillors to elect all new Northern Territory mayors instead of voters angers some leaders. Well, don't worry about the leaders, guys. Worry about everybody, and it'll anger everyone. The council wants to pick the mayors. Yeah. That's pretty safe, isn't it? Uh-oh. I just lost my whole screen. Oh, here we go. All right. Food charities, just the food relief charities, guys. They are under stress at the moment. And you can see what's happening in America. They're taking stuff off the shelves. All right. There's no more stock up on the top shelves. I don't know what goes because I don't go into those places over here. But yeah, definitely in America, that top shelf where they've got everything to restock, not there. So fun and games are coming, guys. But yeah, we're going to be relying, or some people are going to be relying more and more on charity to actually feed themselves. Dodgy polls, the ABC are talking about leaked stuff from dodgy polls. Well, it doesn't surprise us, guys. They're going to steal it. Which way it's going to go? Well, maybe Guru is wrong, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Dutton slams Wong and Labor's secret plan to legislate the voice. Well, you'd do it anyway, Dutton. If it wasn't them, it'd be you, mate. So, So the US, apparently, pandemic warnings of the US in all 50 states. That's it. That's what's happening, guys. All 50 states. Oh, man, it just doesn't stop, does it? Come on in when you're right, Cazza. And hopefully, we've got Mark Mack here, guys, have we?
Hey, yeah, here he is. How you going, buddy?
All right. How's the campaign trail been, brother?
Oh, man, I'm ecstatic. It's so good, bro. It's so good. So many people have, had enough down here. Sick of this orange teal that we got here. And, yeah, she was the one pushing all the boosters and all the vaccines for the last 6 years since she's been in. And, man, they won't even talk about it here, but I'm still trying to push through,
Good on you, mate. God's on our side, Mark. Yeah, we got, we've got this. Look, how long it goes on, who knows? But we know that he wins, and we're part of his tribe, and we're part of his war, mate, and we're part of his army, and it's just march forward. You're doing brilliant, son. Well done.
Yeah, good on you. What are you finding on the ground? Because what I've just assumed, we sometimes discuss the inner city latte sipping yuppies or greenies,
Piccolos, little piccolo.
This is a young group of people have gone out and done and they're recording who's voting in the city. Listen to this.
The next Prime Minister of Australia will be
none of the people running.
That's really hard to say. I think it's going to be very close. Both pretty ordinary in my view.
Who do you think our next Prime Minister will be?
Hopefully neither of them.
We still got the same ones again, are they?
Well, it could be Anthony Albanese or it could be Peter Dutton.
Well, it's really a toss a coin, isn't it? One's is worse than the other. Don't tell anybody.
Well, none of the guys you see on TV, as far as I'm concerned. None of them. Going by the track record of both parties, they've just wrecked everything. None of them have clarified the politics. Hopefully someone good.
Kudos to Pop Documentary for putting that together. So what are you seeing as far as people coming in and taking how to vote cards?
Taking them or attacking them, Kaz?
No,
taking them.
General consensus on the ground.
When they go the how to vote cards, not the what are those cardboard things called? Not those, call flutes.
No, they've been they're getting attacked, but they've generally been pretty good, and it gives you an idea what the flow's like. The main two runners here in Indi are the Liberals and the teal orange Helen Haynes, and certainly you can see the flow for them. But the Libertarians and me, we're still getting a fair few how to vote cards into people's hands. Along with One Nation up in Wodonga, and I suppose Labor, you get the usual socialists. They'll grab a Helen Haynes ones first because she's a socialist, and you'll have Labor as well. They'll grab the Labor one as well. So they go for the orange and the red form. But I tell you what, my campaign, my push, my videos are going a long way. I just heard some guy was having a good crack up at one of mine up at Mackay. Just this week. It's going everywhere. Had Enough Haynes promotion has been really, really touching a nice spot for people, because I just want people to be able to say, yeah, I've had enough. Actually, I've had enough of the current status quo and I want something new. And here I am.
So on the ground, though, do you think what would you say the percentage of people that are voting for the majors are?
Yeah, probably close to 50% are going for the majors. About 30% are just grabbing everyone's card, and about 20% are coming to me and to the Libertarian, which we have Tim Quilty here. And the One Nation guy, Athol Thomas, probably about 20% just want us, one of us, which is fantastic. I think it's like a third and a third and a third. I think it's a third for each of the two majors, and a third for people that just had enough, want their freedoms back, sick of the tax, sick of the taxation saturation, sick of the push to get farmers off the land with all this socialist BS, and basically want to have their children grow up in a country that's worth growing up in.
Interesting. Well, I've got a couple of things on the election, because everyone's got an opinion at the moment. But one of the things that everyone's weighing into is the Chinese or the CC Party affiliated members that are handing out and helping Labor and Greens and Teals. Very
now
interesting.
We got the what is it, the Brotherhood or something now getting involved and helping? You know what I mean? Like, who was it? Some religious, sect. Yeah. Now, they've come out and said, "Oh, we turned them down." Well, they're already out there. Like, you turn them down, they're out there doing the job. We got film of them. So how did you turn them down? What, did they just come and steal all the stuff of you, the T-shirts and whatever else they needed, and then off they went? Or how does it work?
Yeah, the old Freudian slip. They always let you know what they're doing, don't they, guys?
Well, they do. And, like, they're just so obvious about things as well. And especially when you see, like, this statement here about how they're going to get, because apparently they're declaring a war on youths because they heat up the planet. So that's those guys. And then you've got all of this theft going on, but you've also got Adam Bent. Now, community notes. I don't know if this is real or if it's satire, but because it's been posted by the Australian Greens parody account. But Adam Bent here has said, if you're worried about the climate crisis, you're not alone. The Greens are fighting for you, and together we'll win. Greens leader. And then the community readers added context. Greens leader Adam Bent spent thousands of taxpayer dollars on private jets, the worst polluting form of transport. His deputy leader, Maureen Farquhar, has bulldozed dozens of trees and added $1.5 million townhouses to her investment portfolio. The Greens do not care about the climate crisis.
No, not at all. Not at all. This Climate 200 thing, you guys know about Climate 200, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the big Achilles heel for Helen Haynes down here in Indi. Guys, she should not have signed up to that. All the farmers got their back up about this. All the people that are awake, all the people that see all the weather manipulation from the planes and, all the push for the smart city stuff are just so awake to her now. And about 8% of the vote here. So it's definitely within target range of someone kicking for a 6, through the middle posts. Home goal.
Well, look, the Teals had a very surprising win last time, or not so surprising. But here's the thing is that they're really stuffing up. This time, if you look at this, you've got Teal Council takes Liberal signs. And they're getting caught everywhere doing it. It's just crazy. And then you've also got this headline here. Teal MP Sophie Scamps scolded for suggesting rugby league player Keith Titmus' death was caused by climate change related factors. So obviously people are not happy about that statement. And of course
no, actually it's probably correct, because he may have died from a vaccine, and that's all part of the climate change, because they've got to get rid of some people so that we don't have this dramatic climate change. I mean, we got to knock off, 4 billion or so, they reckon. So,
Well, actually, we do have a poll running. Do you want to hear what it is? It's over on Matilda Girls. Go and vote, okay? This is brilliant. So this is Jack the Aussie has put the Teals all together, and he's gone, well, what's a collective noun for a large group of Karens? A scold of Karens, a herd of Karens, a mess of Karens, a gaggle of Karens. And some very clever people have weighed in. A moron of Karens, a C-U-N-T, a C-N-U-T full of Karens, a disappointment of Karens, an irate of Karens, an idiot of Karens, a brainwashed Karens, a Titanic of Karens. So if
what
you
about
are
a murder? What about a murder of Karens like crows?
What about a coven? What about a coven of Karens?
Karens.
Yeah, coven of Karens. They're already in one.
Yeah,
They signed up to it. That's our problem.
So if anyone is over on Project Matilda, you can go over there and you can actually vote and let us know what you think, or even pop it in the suggestions about what you think a large collective group of Karens should be called.
Matilda TV.
Yeah,
Matilda TV, sorry.
No, not a Matilda of Karens, that's for sure. Yeah, so how you traveling, Guru? How you traveling, brother?
Yeah, all right, mate. I'm just looking after my health at the moment, Mark. During the day, I'm not doing a lot on, I'm not doing many interviews, and we've got a few that I'm supposed to do. But at the moment, mate, just trying to rest in the good Lord, do the right thing with some, natural stuff. And, I'm feeling good, mate. As I said, I've got this to deal with, but the rest of my body is okay. There's a lesson in it for all. We just work out what the good Lord's showing us, mate. That's we just move ahead, mate. But yeah, no, I'm cool, Mark. I'm glad I'm not doing what you're doing and trying to run for a spot and at the moment, you know what I mean, or anything like that. But again, look, I have a lot of feeling for everyone who's not voting because we know it's treasonous. So in my area, if I've got no one, I'll probably go in and whack a line through everything, like we've been told, and put no one to suit my will, It's a really tumultuous time for the whole Freedom Network and everybody else, Mark, because I don't know, we all know that it's treasonous to get involved, all right, because we're dealing with a treasonous entity. But sometimes you got to go into the enemy's camp to be able to, rustle the bushes and get something done. You know what I mean? So
how else do you send a message, bro? How else
you got to get in the opposing sheds, mate, and you got to understand what they're doing. You're right. You've got to infiltrate. Okay, you got to get in the opposing locker room, and you got to understand what their game plan is. We all know what their game plan is. Now it's a matter of maybe getting some people in there to mitigate their game and try and turn it around. But I can understand how confusing and how conflicted everybody is about what they should do. And all I can say over that, guys, is discern it with the good Lord. Like I tell you all the time, okay? That's it.
That's right. You're spot on, Guru. And I wouldn't have done this without the good Lord's backing. I'm telling you right now, I couldn't do it. I wouldn't have the energy, man. I'm getting by on 5-6 hours sleep a night. Going from Wodonga to Mansfield to Benalla to Wangaratta to Bright.
Well, you need a rest after it, Mark, because yourself. You're not emptying your garbage tin, mate. You're not doing the right things by yourself when you're only getting that limited amount of sleep.
Yeah, take care of your temple. That's right. Yeah,
that's it, mate.
These are great. These suggestions are great. We'll have to have another poll tomorrow.
Of Karens. A pot of Karens.
A pot of Karens. A gaggle of Karens.
I like
these great.
The crows, the murder.
The crows, the murder.
What about a cackle? What about a cackle of cranes? Karens.
Very good.
Love it.
All right. Well, one of the things that's come out overnight, and Jim Ferguson has actually interviewed this guy. Maybe I'll bring him in for a bit. But is just this is just really quite crazy.
I have to say, Chris, I mean, this is really shocking stuff. You can't call an election until all the votes have been counted. And it wasn't just like one box, was it? It was like, I mean, multiple. Are we talking multiple boxes?
So our particular area, we were responsible for, I believe, just over 50. I think it was 52 different voting locations were all scheduled to come drop their ballots off to us to be counted that night. And not one of them had come in yet.
From 52 voting locations.
It's 52 voting locations. Now, he goes on to say in his other one here.
It's like, how is this even possible? Here we have, one of the biggest areas just east of the GTA, Pickering, Ajax, Whippy, Oshawa, Uxbridge. Not a single vote counted. And then, CTV says the Liberals win. And then CBC follows in that. this reeks. How is this even possible? Something's fishy. Something's not right. There's got to be some sort of investigation into this.
Now, last night we played ballot boxes being loaded into cars. Well, we've seen that before. But this is just outrageous. They arrived in a taxi. Look at it. Like, this is crazy.
What do you mean? I don't understand. I want to understand why these are just sitting on the street, how you took them into a taxi and you guys could just fill out anything you want to put them in the box. Is this a normal election? This is how elections are run? This is a complete fraud.
Why don't you go and speak to the people inside? They'll be happy to take care of you. We are working here. You're not allowed to.
I'm on public property. I can film whatever I want. And you guys are walking around with ballot boxes in a taxi?
Doing the same as what they've done here, just whatever they want, like.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I was just going to say, that's why, I've got a lot of real good freedom people backing me going into scrutineers. Really, these guys have been scrutineering the referendum, the yes, no stuff, scrutineering the Victorian elections. And I implore everyone, every freedom person that is actually getting into the sandpit like we are with my team, to be scrutineers. Keep an eye on them. Make sure they're putting them on the right stacks, guys, because I don't think it's as bad in Australia. There's a bit of it, but it's not as bad as America. No way.
I don't know. From what I've heard, that's what I used to always think until the last election, and we have video of like barrels being rolled out into cars. The amount of video evidence that we got of things that look very, very suspicious. Now, but what's happened is one of the things that is a bit of a kickback in there is somebody has lobbied and said, all right, how about we separate? So this is Alberta. So it's all over once Alberta. So within 24 hours, less than even 24 hours, there was 192,000 signatures that want to separate from the rest of Canada. Now, they require 177,000 to trigger a referendum.
Well, will they see it?
Well,
will they?
Yeah. Well, Caz, have you heard about the Riverina that want to do the same kind of thing in your area?
There was a bit of a push for that some years ago. It actually probably could happen here because, would be a possibility because it's not very well known, but actually here there was probably about 100 years ago, I think it was, there was an armed rebellion. So what happened was the government was going to pass something outrageous in Canberra. The farmers got wind of it, so they all met down on the river. And they decided, nah, we're marching on Canberra. So they went home, they packed their wagons. It was in the days of wagons. There was no vehicles. They loaded up with their guns and they were started off. Canberra got wind of it, that they were on their way. And so they decided, oh, no, we're not going to pass this law. No, we won't be doing that. So there's a lot of that. There is actually still a lot of that within the people around here that I would imagine. I know that I've talked to heaps of people and no one's happy. Everyone thinks it's absolutely shit what's going on. And these are even lefties. Even the hardcore lefties can't believe what's going on.
Yeah, we are at a situation hopeless. There's no doubt about it. But I'm telling you guys, all us children of Epic know hopeless. We know what it is. We know we're in the middle of it. But sometimes that's when it cracks, guys. That's when things change. If people simply get behind good men and women in this country.
Well, that's the thing. Now, one of the other people that's been doing a really good job is Morgan Cox. Remember, he was the person who on Q&A, he actually said, are we going to keep on importing to people until every single person in Australia is homeless? Now, he's actually got quite a big following. He's camped outside of the PM's house immediately at this moment, I think. But he's actually said here, if you think it's bad now, you ain't seen nothing left yet. If Labor wins, millions will be forced into poverty. Millions will be homeless. Healthcare will be wiped out. Crime like you've never seen. God help Australia.
That's right. And I'm on the other side, Goozer. I must say, I think we need to vote for this one. Because if we don't, it's just going to go to Labor. We need to look at One Nation and Rennick freedom independents like myself. If there's many, I don't know why there's not more freedom independents running, because it's pretty easy to sign up and get it going, guys. But I'm on the other side right now because I haven't seen a better system so far. I mean, I'd love a better system. I much prefer a proper system set up again under the Crown's, but because this corporate junk has to go. And, you know, I was in the army. I'm telling a lot of people I served in the army for 9 years. I was in the green machine, but I wasn't a part of it. And sometimes you just got to get in the sand pit. That's all I want to say. Just get in there and have a crack if you feel called to do it.
Yep. No, I sorry guys, I just had a heap of bikes go past them. But yeah, no, look, Mark, I applaud anyone who is working to do something to bring these guys down, mate. It doesn't matter where you're working or what you're doing. If you're doing something, you're genuine about it and you're having a dig, that's what we've all got to be doing. We got to have people infiltrate.
And it's coming in all forms as well, because we had the division that was the purposeful division set out by the Welcome to Country at the Anzac Day, and then you've got this. I applaud this man. Good on you, because he actually understands exactly who we are and exactly what the game is, I believe.
300 different Aboriginal nations. We can't all speak the same language, but we can do one chant, I think, that brings us all together. Now, this is Australian rules. So, has anyone heard the chant Aussie, Aussie? Let's do it together. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! 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 Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Have a great night!
Yeah, well done, bloke. Well
Brilliant.
done. Yeah, absolutely. That's the last one he'll ever get to do, but yeah, brilliant, son.
Yeah, I agree. But it is like that. That's somebody who understands and is who has a vision of unity for the people, we the people. So yeah, I just applaud him. It's just awesome work.
Yeah, I agree. This is what brings us together. Go ahead, Caz.
No, I'm just going to say it's what binds us together. And the thing is, too, that all of that distraction has taken our focus off the government, who is bad, and the stuff that is still going on with the what's going on in the election, like with the AEC even. Now, this person was told they're not allowed. They were campaigning against abortion. Okay, now Dr. Joanne Howe, I believe, was the person who's actually been behind this, and she's got a strong campaign for people who are against abortion and the people who are informing the people who are going to vote in for people who are actually pushing the abortion agenda. And this is what the AEC has done.
I'm
very
settle down,
kindly.
Dave.
I'm just
I'm not
asking
attacking
kindly.
anybody.
You're not even letting me speak. You're interrupting me whenever I speak. I'm asking you, I've had a few people who are quite upset. I just want to speak to my supervisors
What are they upset
about what you're speaking to them about.
What about speaking about?
About late-term abortions.
Okay, you don't like that?
It's not my opinion.
It's a horrible thing, though. And that's why I want to stop it.
Sorry. I want to speak to my supervisors because I've had some complaints.
Okay,
if I
fair
can
enough.
ask you, if you would like to speak to everybody about your policies, you're more than welcome to. But just that point for now, if I can please ask
What can
you
I
to
say
just hold
then?
on.
What can I say? Our
Everything
policies?
else, every other of your
I'm not
policies.
allowed to mention abortion.
Just for now, I've had some complaints and I just want to run it up the chain,
Okay.
if you wouldn't mind.
All right, thank you. Okay.
Any other topic bar late-term abortion? Any other topic?
Oh yeah. Don't you love it? Because I'm running on freedom to choose and freedom to speak and freedom to live. You know, and that's right. Pro life is a topic. I mean, what kind of country are we in where we can't talk about what our true inner beliefs are? We're all different, guys. We have a freedom to choose, don't we?
We got one that's run by the deep state, the Satanists, the pedophiles, and the CCP, mate. You know, big mix of all. Yeah, interesting times.
Yeah, it is. All right, so we are at almost up at half past. Mark, you've got a flyer in here. So the flyers run for 2 minutes. So if you want to grab a coffee, that's great. And the Mondays at Maggie's crew is calling for tools down. It's time to stand together. A corrupt and tyrannical government is crushing industries, stripping freedoms and silencing voices. This affects every worker and every business. New South Wales under a corrupt government. Enough is enough. We won't stay silent and we demand action. So join us every Monday at the Governor's House in Sydney at 11 a.m. And Rocco is hosting an Election Day barbecue, 12 noon, Saturday the 3rd of May 2025 at Ewan Park Barbecue area. And Dr. Joanne Howe is organising another rally against the Greens abortion bill. This one will be on Wednesday the 7th of May at 5:30 p.m. sharp at New South Wales Parliament, Macquarie Street, Sydney. And in Victoria, we have the following events. In Melbourne, gather at the Governor's every Saturday to end the tyranny. 10 a.m. every Saturday at the Governor Gates. And join the Justice of the People in Melbourne every Sunday at 4:30 p.m. for a remembrance at the Shrine of Remembrance, lest we forget. And Mark McFarlane is having a campaign after party on Saturday the 3rd of May at the Wang Club, Wangaratta, 7 p.m. And there is a court call-out, Eric Lord versus Vic Pole at Wodonga Courthouse this Thursday the 1st and Friday the 2nd of May. Eric is charged with assaulting a police officer after that police officer ran over his wife. In Canberra, every day for over 1,000 days, the freedom fighters have been protesting at the Governor-General's. To join in, meet at the National Rock Garden at 10 a.m. to expose the 28, or tune in on YouTube at hashtag expose the 28. And check out Dan Tilda's new t-shirt designs featuring the QR code, the event number of the witness statement documentary. A daily prayer space is held on X at 3 p.m. So whatever you're facing, come along and we can lift you up in prayer. Every day, 3 p.m. on X. Melissa 146233923.
Okay, guys, we got that court case with Eric Lord and that again. So anyone that can turn up down there, you've done brilliantly in the past. Here comes heap of bikes, guys. And the other thing, Caz, tell them about Rocco. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, well, Rocco's just said that the council has fenced off the place where they have their monthly barbecues because of increasing crowds. So he's going to go and get some. He's going to go and basically get some photos of it, but like very interesting. Like there's a lot of crazy stuff that's going on.
We all need to go and support Rocco at his next barbecue, I think. You know what I mean? What do you mean? How do they close a park because too many people are actually using it? I mean, isn't that what a park's for? For the general community to come down and have a social gathering and enjoy themselves? Oh, no, but not you guys, because you guys want your freedom. Can't have Rocco, getting people down there and talking about all these topics and, wanting your own life and wanting to exercise your own will in your own park, in your own neighbourhood. Don't dare do that.
Yeah, that's right, bro. Good big shout out to Rocco, by the way. Love you, buddy. Just friended me on my new political Facebook page. But we had a convoy. Did you see me convoy organised in Wangaratta on Thursday?
See that. I think I shared that one out, Mark. Yeah,
that was great. It was a mini epic, guys. It's hard to get people to do it in your own community, but just trying to warm them up. They haven't seen me get started yet, but it was great. We had a tractor there, and we had all these utes with hay on the back and signs, and we're out and about, and a lot of people are still talking about it in Wangaratta right now, and in fact, right around the electorate of Indi.
Okay, it's great. It's what we want.
Yeah, it's absolutely going off, guys, and go for it, Caz. Your turn.
No, you're right. Just I'm just basically seeing what news is left to get through. That's all.
Mark, I think I think we need to. Oh, look, we can't have them doing what they're doing to Rocco and that, so we need to come together, you know what I mean? We need to group up. How we do that, I don't know, but maybe, I'm not going to put anyone on the take here, but there is some groups around there, and maybe we can all, turn up at Rocco's, take a sausage, you know what I mean? And Yeah, I don't know.
Mm.
What we'll have to talk to Rocco, but obviously, what the hell do you mean you're taping up a friggin' playground, in a park? Like, are you guys off your chops? Do you just want trouble, And we don't want to give you trouble. We just want to exercise our right to live. Like, you're off your heads, mate. The more you push, the more people are going to come out and push with us. So we will win this, guys. You authorities, believe it. We will win it.
Yeah, we will win. We will win this, absolutely. Because, like every time we push back, they sort of decide they take another route and they come back sneakier and that sort of stuff.
They shit themselves, mate. Yeah, like Penny Wong just slipped out today. Oh, we'll get the voice in. Don't worry. It's coming. Like, fuck your CCP agent. It ain't happening.
Plenty Wong there, guys.
Plenty Wong, all right.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, too, there's a lot more coming out about the vaccines as well. Look, you got this report by Renegade Rosie.
Agenda. I've just had a very interesting conversation with someone who is awake. She's in the funeral business. And she tells me that now there are so many young people dying and so many babies not surviving in the womb. A lot of lost pregnancies around the 7-month mark. And it appears that the funeral industry are now beginning to start questioning. But as with everyone, it's an extremely slow process for them to put it together. It seems to be some strange condition in humanity that when they've done something to themselves, they can't bear to think that they have.
You've also got it's actually come out in business, in the business section, that new study shows nearly 9 in 10 COVID-19 patients on ventilators don't make it. Yes, and plus,
and I also saw that these sneaky bastards, the governments and that, mate, they are going to leave the business owners open to recourse from the employees over making them have the vaccine.
That's right. But also the thing is too, Michael Yeadon's
they want to
just
shut
come out
businesses down, Mark.
Right. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Anti-business, whole thing.
That's it. But also you've got Michael Yeadon, he's just basically come out and said it was all by design.
Yeah, that's right. It is.
Were designed intentionally to harm the people who received them.
That's an ex-Pfizer employee.
Yeah, that's right. It's so good to see this stuff come out, guys. It's so good. And we need public profile we have to get the truth out. I was just doing a video in Beechworth, Victoria, looking at the AEDs, those little defibrillators that are on the shops.
Everywhere.
What an obvious ploy to show you what's really going on with people. There's signs on the local chemist in Beechworth. A 20-year-old pharmacist passed away. I mean, come on, guys. Speak the truth. Don't be fearful.
You know what
anymore.
our biggest problem was? Problem was? The amount of placebos, right, that got handed out, because these people that have had no effect can't get they can't see it. Bullshit, I've had it. You know what I mean? Now that's the two, all right, of the COVID. You go playing with these flu shots and all the rest of it, you're just asking for trouble. But I think one of our big problems in getting the message out was the amount of placebo that was actually brought out. Now, you can put that down to warp speed. You can put that down to a couple of different things. It doesn't matter, all right? The essence of the problem is that a lot of people got placebo shots, okay?
Yeah.
We know that for a fact. So that makes our job even harder, because these people are standing ground going, but it hasn't hurt me. It hasn't affected me. Well, no, salt water won't. But if you got the wrong batch number, which we can prove, and we can give you the batch numbers and the 18 ladies from Bulli Hospital and the next crew over there at Wollongong Hospital, all right, that we've got all the proof on, we've got the batch numbers, they've all got cancer. Come on, guys, there's an elephant in the room, all right? You can't just keep up against the wall trying to find the fucking door, you know what I mean? You've actually got to poke the elephant, right? And, realize it's real.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, on that note, actually, Charles is taking them to court, and he's got a fundraiser going. He's almost at his target, so he's got 68,000. He needs 70,000. I'm going to pop the link in here, so hopefully he will be able to get that up, and that would be really good, actually. So yeah, because he's been in the fight for a long time. Now, there's something interesting that happened overseas today. there was a blackout in Spain. And
Oh,
then
yeah, it's 3 countries.
Well,
yeah, there was a black, and then it ended up going to Manchester. So I had a look around, I had a bit of a hunt around, and it was very interesting to see the thread on what happened in Spain. So this person wrote that no one knew what was going on. Rumors started immediately. People lost it before the hour was even up. There was no phones, there was no internet, there was basically nothing. So he found that when he walked home, because he'd been stuck on a train, I think it was, he ended up going home, got into his car and turned on the radio to find out what was going on, because that was the only source. But he said, and I have never considered this, he said if you walked into a shop and you needed milk for $5, you only had like $600, or you only had like $200 or $100 or whatever they have on them, you couldn't get change because the shop didn't actually have any change. You had to pay whatever you had on you to have that.
Most of the shops are shut now.
Well,
yeah, what a grift.
But he said people lost it before the hour was even up. People were losing it. Rumors started going rife. So very interesting, because we're all addicted to our little phones.
That's right. And I'll tell you a story today. I heard that the current sitting member, Helen Haynes, during the covert period, brought in a food van, right? And then what happened was she kept the food van going when businesses opened up again. So well received that none of the other businesses were able to stay open. They just continue to push and subjugate businesses down the old plug hole, don't they?
They do. It's all by design, Mark. Everything, all of our manufacturing, all with the Luma agreement, mate. That was the big slippery slide downhill. Once they done that, then no one had noticed. By I think it was '86, in comes the Australia Act. We'll just slip that in now. These dickheads haven't seen anything that's been going on since '73. Let's keep pushing.
Yeah, that's right, brother. What about the builders? Like, we've got a huge housing crisis right now, and the builders get no support whatsoever.
That's right. They're sending them broke, mate.
Yeah, going to the wall every week.
And don't worry, there's a supply chain issue coming up, because as we've mentioned before on here, Ukraine is one of the biggest suppliers of timber. Okay, so it's coming. They've got control of it, and it is coming, guys. All right, they are going to squeeze out. You can see, like, I'm in that building. I'm in that construction industry. Have been all my life, mate. I wouldn't be at work now. There's no way I would deal with, all the red tape bullshit that's got to go on, a $4,000 fine because you got a bit of shit laying on the road. It's just the environment is getting turned into a harsh, horrible environment, with more and more scrutineering and overseeing and fines and this, that, and the other. And it's all to make us irate. That's what it's about, guys, to make you irate.
Yep, that's right.
And
I was just going to say, Caz, just quickly, sorry. Recently I heard a guy tried to get plans through the council for 18 months. He just gave up. He sold the land. He went. Same ploy again. They are causing the housing crisis with the tax and with the red tape.
And I've seen things where they're advertising overseas that Australia will take unskilled. So they're telling us that they're looking for skilled workers, and yet overseas they're advertising that they want unskilled. They'll take unskilled. Now, one of the things that has happened overnight is Tom Homan has actually given an explanation. Did you ever wonder why they put them in those big hotels? He tells us why.
You know why the Biden administration released millions of people in the United States? No one ever talks about it. I'll talk about it. Why did they release people into the interior of the United States and put them, rather than put them into an ice bed? Why not put them in an empty ice bed, $127 a night, rather than in a hotel room at $500 a night? They did it on purpose, because when you put them in ice detention bed, they get a hearing in 35 days. Court records show 9 out of 10 people claim asylum, get order removal, they're gone. But if you release them and put them in a hotel room at $500 a night, their hearings could be 5, 7, 9 years. You pull out all appeals, and what are they hoping for then? That another Democrat administration is in power. They can award an amnesty to millions. This is about selling this.
I think that's what's going on here.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Oh, look, we know that they're subsidising. That guy that we had on, or I maybe saw earlier on watching a bit of a news to see what was going on. but his shop's been burnt out down in Melbourne there somewhere. And, you know, and the reporter come on going, oh, they just spent $20,000 doing it all up. Yeah, well, there was a government grant. You know, that's where they get the 20 grand from to do up the shop. You know what I mean? And then all their mates come in and they spend 10 grand doing up the shop and pocket 10 grand. You know, we know how it all works. This is what's going on out there, guys, with the businesses that you and your fellow people in the community used to own and run.
That's right. And this is what we have when we have a corporate government running corporate games all the time, secret contracts. Oh, we can't talk about it. No, you can talk about it. You're the government and we own you.
Yeah,
well, we're being taken out by the rocking housewife tonight, and her song is "The Greens Don't Care." So, Mark, if you'd like to have some final words, and Dave, if you would like to close the show.
No one cares bar Jesus. No one cares bar Jesus, mate.
That's right. God bless you all in Jesus' name. He's the light. He's the rock. He's the lighthouse, you know, in my life. He's the only one that's going to get us through this mess. It's a spiritual battle, as Dave Gouza says all the time. It's a spiritual battle, guys. Stop worrying about the stuff on the periphery, you know. Let's get in there. Let's get in the sand pit and let's have a crack and destroy this evil system they're trying to start up and start again. But we've got to be in there, guys, and we've got to be supporting each other. So thanks very much for having me on. Love you all.
Anytime, Mark. It's just, as I said, you know, we got another lady on tomorrow from the Illawarra guys. She's in Rennick's party. I'm going to get her on and have a chat to her and see what her views are. But I just caught her on TikTok doing something about that. And I'm going, hang on, that's my coastline. And then I've worked out that she's from just up the coast here and she's running. So I just got on, told her on TikTok. I went, here's my number, ring me, and let's get you on the show. So she's tomorrow night, guys. All right. So again, look, you know, it's very, very conflicting times, guys. All right. And that's what I want to press the point about. All right. It is conflicting. All right. It's like, you know, it's like me doing things naturally. And, you know, people, you go and see a doctor or a specialist and they're going to have you, by the time, you know, you're about to walk out of that place, they're going to have you convinced that you need their chemo and you need their this and you need their that, because this is how it works. Okay. All right. But we've got to understand, all right, that we stand alone from that. We are in the world, but not of the world.
Correct.
You have been selected for this course. All right. For this time in history, for this spiritual war. All right. So, guys, as I said to you 1,000 times, let's just go back to the sheds. Let's just make sure we're playing the position that the coach, not me, the coach, God, wants you to be playing. Okay? Because if we get uniformed, we all come together. He's got the plan. We need to know the plan. All right? And the game plan will come to you through spiritual. That's the war we're in. Good night, folks. Have a great, I hope all the best for the weekend, Mark. I hope you get right into them. All you independents out there, wherever, anyone who's got God on their side and wants to do the right thing for us people, the Spirit of the Lord's backing you. Good night, folks.
All the way. All the way.
Riding through this broken town, sky-high rent while you're feeling down. Turn on the news, ain't it a shame? But the Greens, they play a different game. Stabbed in the street, no help in sight. Cultural clashes, it's a constant fight. 8-hour wait just to see a doc, but the Greens don't care, they just talk. Oh, the Greens don't care, they don't care. While we're struggling, they're unaware. With their heads in the clouds, they just don't see the pain that's real, the land of the free. Oh, the Greens don't care, it ain't fair. Time to rise up, we're beyond despair. Watching suburbs turning into war zones, kids feel unsafe and from home they roam. Generations priced out, how can we survive? The dollar's worth less, how can we thrive? Migration out of control, jobs slipping away. Small businesses closing, tell me what do they say? Roads crumbling down, do they even dare to lift a finger? Cause the Greens don't care. Oh, the Greens don't care, they don't care. While we're struggling, they're unaware. With their heads in the clouds, they just don't see the pain that's real, the land of the free. Oh, the Greens don't care, it ain't fair. Time to rise up, we're beyond despair. They preach about justice, but where's their heart? Spending years sabotaging, tearing us apart. Labor's just a puppet, dancing on strings. Spineless and neighbors to the pain that it brings. Inner city elitists never seen hard days, while the common folks fight through the haze. Skyrocketing costs, we're fed up and sore. With every empty promise, we're ready for war. Oh, the Greens don't care, they don't care. While we're struggling, they're unaware. With their heads in the the clouds, they just don't see the pain that's real, the land of the free. All the greens don't care, it ain't fair. Time to rise up, we're beyond despair.